family, what's going on? It's your boy J.E. Elevator, and we about to levitate. Welcome back to another 5 video. Today, I just finished watching the movie Air. We will be talking about it. Let's jump right into it.
I'm just trying to get it every day in each and every way. Feel like Chris Angel, I'm super fly, now watch me levitate.
Alright, family, so like I said, man, we finished watching the movie. Let's talk about it. Alright, so Sonny was an agent for Nike. Alright, he did a lot of high school scouting. He also passed out a lot of free Nike apparel, to include shoes for high school students. And he was actually the pioneer who started doing high school all-star games, to include Reebok, Adidas, Converse. They all went on ahead and started following suit with him, okay? So they had a board meeting. They were talking about who could they sign. Michael Jordan was not interested in Nike. He only really wanted to sign with number 1, Adidas, 2 was Converse. So Sonny went home one day and he started looking over tapes. And he went over Michael Jordan play after play after play, that last shot when they won the championship at North Carolina. And he saw something that nobody else saw. So he had a meeting with Phil. He said, hey, Phil, let's sign Michael Jordan. Phil said no. Michael Jordan's not interested in us, and he's asking for $250,000 to include a red Mercedes. We do not have the budget. We have $250,000 to try to get 3 or 4 players. That's what we have. And Sonny said, let's spend the whole entire budget, and we need more money, like $500,000. Let's sign Michael Jordan. He said, absolutely not. So Phil had a problem with that. They got into a bad altercation, argument. Okay? So what Sonny did, Sonny called Michael Jordan's agent, all right? And his name was David. And they had a relationship, but you can tell their relationship was rocky. He said, hey, man, why don't you let me set up a meeting with Michael Jordan because we have something we want to present to him. David was like, absolutely not. He's not interested. So, you know, Sonny was like, all right, forget it. So Sonny booked the flight to L.A. And he booked the flight to L.A. to talk to George. George had a relationship with Michael Jordan, all right, dealing with basketball. To include, if y'all didn't know, George is actually one of the coaches on the USA team. So they have a meeting, they're talking, and he's like, man, won't you hook me up? And he said, hey, man, he gave him an underlying meaning. Why don't you go do what you need to do since you have that urge? Go and talk to Michael Jordan. That's not what he said, but he gave him that impression, hey, man, if you really want this, then you need to go out and do it yourself. So Sonny booked the flight to Wilmington, North Carolina, right? Michael Jordan's parents had no clue that he was coming to their house. So Michael's father, James Jordan, was like, hey, man, who are you? He introduced himself. Dolores came out and was like, hey, you just show up to people's houses unannounced. So he said, I just have an offer for you. They sat down and talked. He said, I would like to build Nike brand around Michael Jordan so he can have his own shoe. So Dolores was listening to him. She said, okay, so tell me, why? Why should we have a meeting with you? He said, well, since you're going to meet with Adidas, since you're going to go ahead and meet with Converse, if these things happen, right, everything I'm telling you, then just have a meeting with us. And if I'm wrong about any of those meetings, what to expect, guess what? We won't have to set up a meeting. So Dolores, James, and Jordan, all right, and to include Michael Jordan, did not have really any verbal within this whole movie. It was until the end, all right? You barely even had a glimpse of the gentleman who was playing Michael Jordan. So Jordan was not nearly the highlight of this shoot, all right, of this movie, I should say. It was really all about Nike, Sonny, and Phil, okay? So they're talking. They had the conversation. She did not like what Adidas and what Converse had to offer, okay? So she called Michael Jordan and said, hey, guess what? We're going to have a meeting, all right? And the agent went ballistic on Sonny because he said, hey, man, if this does not work, you will not work in this industry ever again. I promise you, all right? So Phil came and said, hey, Sonny, I heard we got a meeting with Michael Jordan. He said, yeah. He would say, who authorized this? So you went behind our backs, did what you were told not to do, which could actually hurt the organization, and you just, what do we have to offer him? We do not have the budget. Sonny said, listen, we're going to build something special around Michael Jordan. I have this feeling. So Sonny, to include, all right, Rob, which was one of Sonny's buddies, okay? Rob also worked at Nike. They went downstairs and talked to Peter Moore. Peter Moore actually created the first Michael Jordan shoe, which is the Air Jordan 1s, right? The Chicago's. So he said, hey, I need a shoe that's going to actually be for one player, right? I just don't want a shoe just for anybody. It has to be geared towards one individual. He said, who was that person? Michael Jordan. So he said, hey, the meeting is on Monday. Today is Friday. We need to spend the whole entire weekend here and get it done. Peter said, hey, no problem. So they went downstairs, right? Peter said he had the perfect shoe. And guess what? That's where the Chicago 1 was created, okay? So Dolores, Jordan, they all came in. They shook hands. Michael had nothing to say, like he was just totally disinterested in Nike, right? So they showed Jordan the shoe, right? Jordan looked at it and they said they want to build everything around him. And so the mother really enjoyed hearing that. She said, okay, so what is the offer? So they went on ahead and gave the offer, right? They came back a couple days later or so, you know, they heard that Michael Jordan was interested in joining Nike. But it wasn't Michael Jordan. It was Dolores Jordan who was the business mindset, all right, not even the dad. The dad was just pretty much there. It was the mom who was taking care of all the business. And she told him, she said, hey, we'll sign with you, but on one condition, right? Especially as you told me my son isn't as great as he is and everybody will see him, right? We need a percentage. We need a percentage of every shoe sale, right? So they go back and forth. Sonny goes and talks to Phil. Phil told him, forget it. Let's do it. What about the board members? Just sign them, all right? And so once they signed Michael Jordan, at the end, Sonny was like, Mrs. Jordan, can I speak to Michael? That's when you had just a small glimpse of Michael saying hello. They talked for a quick second, and then that was it. So I would like to say this, man. This movie is definitely well worth the watch, especially if you are into the history of sneakers and how things came about, all right? So for all my sneakerheads out there, I'm telling you right now, check out this movie. If you have not seen it, hey, go check it out. And if, listen, you got anything to say in the comment section, we can go back and forth. I can go way more in depth about the movie, but I wanted to give y'all the gist of the movie. If you like my videos, like, share, subscribe, hit that post notification bell, because every time your boy drop a brand new video, I want y'all to get the latest and greatest. Now you know the mom.